Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom. Today it's me alone, but I have the questions from my students and they are not available today. So we have a New Age topic today. A New Age topic going into also chakras and a few other things about the hijacked New Age. This is actually heavy on my heart to talk about that because it's very difficult. A lot of people are so involved in this new age. But remember, what's coming up again and again is we have to let go of everything what is the past. And many things have served us 10, 20, 30 years ago, but they don't serve us anymore today. And we have to let go. And we also all know how much we have been lied to. Those who really go into more the Tataria history channels, like what I'm doing now, also electroculture, you see that the real important things have been hidden from us. And it is absolutely naive to believe that when the New Age was coming up, that they, the cabal, would let us to have the real truth. So they gave us like cookies, but they never gave us the whole thing. So those who are really going the path of enlightenment, they have to step out of everything, of organized religion, organized new age. We have to step aside and we have to find that truth within ourselves. What I want to do now, I want to show you some symbols and I want to let them, they can speak for themselves. I'm not gonna go too much into what they mean. So we have the topic that is my picture, is the New Age hijack. Do we have or do we need chakras? So that's the question. So let's start here with astrology. That is also part of the New Age. Now, you know that the Western astrology is very, very widespread. But you know, the real star constellation actually, in fact, have nothing to do anymore with Western astrology. You can see here, like this is the sky outside here. You can see the real star constellation, how it looks. And here inside, you see the circle of Western astrology. You see here, this is a picture of the year 0 when we go back from now. So you can see here that the 1 degree areas and the 1 degree areas in the sky are exactly the same. Now, when we move forward here, 2000 years, now what we have here is the whole, every 72 years, the zodiac has moved 1 degree. And from our perspective, how it looks, it's moving backwards. So we can see here in the Western astrology circle, here is 0 degree areas. And here is 0 degree areas is here in the sky, the real sky. And here in the Western circle, sorry, I made a mistake, messed up. This is at the end of Aries. The Aries sign begins here. And we can see here, when you look, when you make a line outside, and I have attuned here the Uranus to this, at 0 degree Aries, as Uranus is here, that will be 28 degree areas in the Western astrology. So you can see it even better here. This is a picture from the real star constellation here in the sky. And you can see here that we have here this, the sign of Sagittarius. And we have here Sun, Moon, Venus in conjunction. We have here, this one we don't see so well, but we have here the Mercury and Saturn, you see clearly out here. This inside here you won't see is Pluto. So you can also see here that the real star constellations that are not aligned, because here in the Western astrology, all these planets would be in Capricorn, and Capricorn is down here. So you can see actually that when we look into the real star constellation, that is just at the end of Sagittarius here and will later move into the sign of Capricorn. So I'm talking about facts here. And there is another fact here. And I was confronted with a couple years ago with, I heard one of the videos, and I think it was Nyla Nguyen that exposed yoga. That yoga is a gateway for demonic possession. And she was even showing in that video, I'm not sure if it's this one, I just made that screenshot for you to see that. So we can see here that a lot of other people already have started to talk about that. And we have also, oh, this is not the right picture yet. Let me stop sharing quickly for a second to find the right picture for you. I have also realized, oh, we can go on here. Sorry. I have a retrograde Mercury right now in my progression. I really can feel it. Okay, so we can see that the yoga was very strongly exposed already, and then we can go from here right into the. Let's go here. Let's go right into the next energy from now. Here we come to the chakras. Now the topic here is when we go back in mythology also, this is also part of mythology, that the snake actually gave the apple to Eve. Now why Eve and not Adam? Because Eve is the principle of the female receiving part. You cannot give the apple to the male part. This would not work because the male part is giving. We talk about mythology, we talk about symbols here. So Eve is the part that is receiving the apple. You might have seen the Da Vinci Code. There you can see the seeded womb. The keyword was apple. And this is, again, we have the seed and we have the womb. And then you know that when we move forward, that when we go into the topic of chakras, that there's the snake, there is a coiled, the snake is coiled in our base chakra. Now here we have it again. The red apple here is also a symbol of the blood. And when we move forward, we can see here, and this picture really freaked me out when I saw that long time ago, you know, here the symbol of the New World Order. And here the snake, the Kundalini snake that going up your spine. Here we have the Saduceus, we have the symbols of modern medicine. And you might also know that the so-called modern medicine has done everything to get rid of natural medicine, of herbal medicine, which is thousands of years old. And it goes so far that today most doctors, nurses, and so far, they have absolutely no idea anymore about herbs. And some even believe that they are bad for us. And then what really freaked me out was this picture here. When you look at that here with the chakras, what's happening, Draconian Ritual book, this is also connected with the chakras. I have made a video about chakras already about a year ago. And there I also have talked about my personal experience that I had because I had Kundalini rising. Maybe I shared that quickly with you just for the better understanding. Some 20-some years ago, I was about 50, and I was in a workshop, the 4 Faces of Women, and that was from the Raja Yoga at that time. I was involved in Raja Yoga at that time. And it was a very interesting workshop where we talked and identified within ourselves and found the 4 Faces of Women. And I totally agree that this is right. We have these 4 aspects. This is natural in a way. It's like the moon rising. We have the dark moon, which is like the conception, moon and sun together. We have the rising part. And then we have the opposite, we have the peak, and then we have the descending part. So we have always in a cycle these four aspects that are important in our journey. So I had, after the last thing we had to do was to write a letter to our divine lover or to our whatever, because they said if you're incarnated as a woman, the opposite part of you, the male part of you, is like hovering around you, is nearby you, and is in the way we can say your divine lover. So I did that, and I went afterwards out in the garden. I was laying on under some kind of palm tree and just enjoying the beauty of the garden. And suddenly I had this very, very sexual feeling, the feeling really of being penetrated. And I was wanting to get up. I was kind of a little bit freaking out. And then it was this message, now this is the aspect of your divine lover. Calm down, calm. And I had the most awesome orgasm you can imagine. And this was not just a thing that is like physical, that goes on for a few seconds, more or less. This kind of bliss energy held for at least a week. But then it faded. And I did everything, I tried everything to get it back. I had it 2 more times later. But it was really difficult. It went away and I could never reach it anymore. And I was disappointed, and I started to think about why the heck is that happening? But I was on a truly spiritual path. And somehow this energy, even if it was bliss, if it was beautiful, but it didn't hold, it went away. In my opinion, in my deep understanding, is that when you have this kind of divine bliss that I have experienced in other meditation, that you have it back. And I used to have these kind of peaceful moments of bliss and peace. It was not an ecstasy in an emotional or whatever way. It is just that kind of absolute inner peace. And I had that after rebirthing exercise and other exercise I did. And I can have that again and again, and I don't need to worry about it. But this Kundalini experience I never had anymore. And I was worried about it. And another thing I was worried about, and I started to ask questions, why do we have to open and close chakras? If the divine is truly within me, I don't need to let anything out, and I don't need to worry about other things from outside coming into me. If my light inside is strong, I mean, just imagine a light bulb that is burning. If this is my inner light is strong, darkness cannot penetrate me. So this is kind of when I started to question things much more. And I came even to the point that I have rewritten my books to take all the chakra parts out that I have put in there. So this is really horrible when you look at that. And it is, with the whole chakras are now what I understand, but you have to do your own research. You have to find out for yourself what you believe. But I do believe that chakras are reptilian implants. And this is also what we see for here picture of the devil. And here, the devil itself is androgynous. And the whole thing, what is happening today with the gender, is connected to this. They don't want men and women anymore. So, and you can see here, we have it again. We have the Saduceus. We have it here in many different symbols, World Health Organization. And that really, really, especially modern medicine, that, that is founded by Rothschild, actually, but they have also put up all the universities for medicine. and kick out everything what is natural. And I know that from very, very personal experience too, because I'm working in the field of natural and alternative complementary medicine. Now see here again, we have the Kundalini snake, and we have here the chakras, and you can see that the Kundalini snake actually just goes to the third eye, but it does not go to the crown. That's a very interesting thing. But this is the middle channel, that one here, that does not touch, actually is not with the chakras itself, but it is that column that goes up here, that is Sushumna. We have Ida, we have Pingala, the left and the right. This is the serpents, and then we have Sushumna in the middle. So the enlightenment that goes up through the spine, where is the third snake? Something in me just does not, it just doesn't sound right. Here is from Barbara Brennan's book. This is an image that we were working with when I was confronted with that chakra thing about 12 so years ago. And I have removed the chakras at that time. And this is the picture that was helping easy to how to remove the chakras. If somebody is interested to do that, you can contact me and I can send you the protocol. Okay, so this is just an image of the Hindu pantheon, and I just want to say the Hindu gods. So when I am in a meditation, when I am totally at peace, when I'm more or less, my consciousness is in my heart center, then I'm completely at peace. I have been in Hindu temples and I have been in other temples, but I never have found peace in places like that. I really find it in my meditation. So I have also here a couple pictures about the pineal gland and the thalamus. When you look at this picture, we go a step further. You can see that in the Egyptian mythology, we can find that as the third eye, the thalamus, the eye of Horus. And I absolutely agree with all the knowledge about the eye of Horus and the pineal gland and what it does within us. And that is very important also. But I found also the reference in the Chinese system of the Dantian. And I was myself practicing Tai Chi Chuan many, many years ago, and I was involved in some other Qigong and things. And this works for me because now see here, there is no opening and no anything against outside. This is the sentence you have within you. The Dantian, the Hara, in the belly is the one that gives you the strength, the physical part, and the heart, the energy, a very divine energy that we have within us is just the light. This is that life spark that is what you keeps you alive. And this life spark is connected with your aura. We can see in a way is enlightening, then coming up into your head and going down into your belly to give you a balance. And if you put it like this, you see the lemniscate, the infinity symbol, like looking like a number 8. And then you see the torus around it, the energy flow around it. And when you look at the energy flow, when we say we are microcosmos within macrocosmos, then we look at the whole energy flow in the cosmos, in the earth, in the human being. So that makes sense. And that is connected with our heart. And I have here another picture for you that when you are centered in your heart, the strongest aura is outside coming from your heart. And this is the energy flow. And now here it is my belief that that center in the heart, and by the way, they have found a 5th heart chamber. I have not, I don't know if you heard about that, but that's also kind of new. But that 5th heart chamber, that will be, in my opinion, the 5, Venus, and that will be that seed, the love, the divine energy that we bring in with us when we are born. We never have to open anything. We never have to close anything. It is here. It is ours as long as we are alive. So this is that light bulb. You know, consciousness is energy. When you focus your consciousness on your heart and you expand this light, you can make that shield that keeps you in a light bubble, like inside of that light bulb. And you have the two centers above and below. That is the polarity that we live in. We have everywhere we find polarity, we find divinity. Within that polarity, in the third point, which is then the heart. Duality is something different. And there is a Saratoga Ocean. I recently heard a video from her where she explains duality. I've never heard a better explanation. Duality is judgment, is when you start to judge, when you start to identify with something which is not, which is deception. I will put the links below. So please think about it. Think about all what happened in the New Age. And look at it, it has become a religion. I know myself, I was in Western astrology for 10 years first, and I was devastated when I discovered the Skyview astrology, that I have done 10 years wrong astrology. That was really bad for me. But, well, you know, I didn't stay there, I move on. But the first thing I did, I deleted the program again. And it took me about a month to go back to install the program again, to study it. And when I studied it more closely, when I started to do research on my own life and life of the people in my family, things were so amazing clear that there is absolutely no 50-50 chance it's true or if it's not. I, for example, never, ever realized in the Western astrology, you know, there was no significant consolation, for example, when I got married and later when I got divorced, but it was absolutely clear in the Skyview astrology. So please think about it. Do your own research, do your homework. We cannot sit still and just go with the flow. This time has gone long ago. So we need to stand up and we need to do our own research. We need to do some soul searching to find out what is true and what is not. And again, I just want to say it again. If you want to be guided by the true divine forces, when you wake up in the morning, say something like that. I surrender to the divine within and ask to be guided, protected, and to know what I need to know. And you can do the same again in the evening, especially for ask for protection. And then things will start to happen. Maybe not just the next day, but maybe they do. But once you ask, that they tell you, your higher self, your divine self, whatever you want to call it, your spirit guides, once you ask them and give them permission to guide you, to tell you what you need to know, then it will come into your life, because they need a permission from you first. We are here living in an area of free will. And that's why also we are here where we are in the moment. Okay, so that's a lot of information and food for thought. I wish you a good week, and I'm working also my astrology reading for the next dark moon and spring equinox that comes out in 2 days. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my video, and I look forward to see you again soon. Bye-bye.